June 10th, 2019, the Raw after the WWE Super ShowDown. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Matt, Raj isn't here tonight. Raj is on vacation, which means that we can say whatever we want tonight. Completely
whatever
uncensored.
we want, and without Raj slowing us down with his uncomfortable face he makes when, God forbid, you talk about anything other than the show.
Yes, well,
and he rushes you through the joke. By the way, when you're trying to make a joke, he kind of tries to always get you right back on track, and he kills the joke.
Sometimes he steps
all the time. Raj, I'm glad you're not hitting. I'm joking.
No, Raj is great. Although Raj with a couple drinks, as I learned in Vegas, really loosens up. We've seen him on this podcast when he's had a drink or two, and it's a little more relaxed, easy going. Raj, good time, Raj.
Right. Well, that doesn't take much when you're tighter than a what. Come on.
Touche. This conversation, perhaps more interesting than Raw tonight.
Definitely.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Oh man, this was so weird tonight. It was in San Jose, and I know you don't get that weird itch to go to live wrestling events that often, but for me, when they're in my area, I'm always like, oh, maybe I should go, maybe I should do it. And then watching this tonight, it was like, thank God I didn't go an hour and a half each way.
Thank God you didn't. You would have wasted your time, man.
Yeah, this was really strange. And with Stomping Grounds coming up a week from Sunday, they're really trying to build it, but correct me if I'm wrong, there's not a lot new in these matches. This is rematches for Money in the Bank, rematches for WrestleMania.
Yeah. That's all it is. That is all it is, with Sami dressed up as a referee tonight, and he did not look like a star whatsoever. He actually looked like a legitimate ref. My wife goes, "Who's the new ref?"
Well, it reminded me, remember when they put the ref outfit on Heath Slater a couple months ago?
And it looked normal, right? He looked like he fit in as a ref. That's not good. That's not good. Even if you don't have big arms, cut your sleeves, do something to separate yourself, so you don't want to fit in as a ref ever if you're a superstar.
Yeah. No, I think I've given up on my dream of Sami getting a title run at this point. I just don't see it happening.
I only could wish.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the IC belt at some point or US title, but I don't know. Thank God it's not the 24/7 contention that he's in, at least. So we open tonight with Seth Rollins coming out to a big pop, talking about how he beat up Brock with a steel chair at the WWE Super ShowDown. He defeated Baron Corbin. And talking about his rematch with Corbin at Stomping Grounds. So Corbin came out, interrupted, said he didn't really lose this match, blamed it on the ref. Sami Zayn came out. Kevin Owens came out. Corbin's now big on getting the special guest referee for the rematch at Stomping Grounds. Did you watch the Super ShowDown or any of the highlights online or read about it?
I did.
Yeah. What did you think of Brock getting his ass handed to him by Seth Rollins after making that long flight over there, nonetheless?
I thought that was good. If that was a message, which I don't think Vince has the what to do with using Brock Lesnar that way. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people, I'm guessing, I haven't been online, but I'm guessing they're speculating that this was his comeuppance for what he did to Seth Rollins. Did anybody mention that?
No, I hadn't seen that at all. I mean, I think
good, because there's no way it was. But still, it was good. It made Seth look like a bigger star, and that was great. I thought that was awesome, actually. I thought that was actually really good use of Brock for what it's worth. I do. Him getting his ass kicked is good use of him.
I agree. I really like where his character is at now. He's way more interesting as the spoiler than he ever was as the champion, at least in his most recent run. So interesting. And we'll talk about what they did with Paul Heyman to further along that story.
Yeah.
But so with Corbin, what do you think about where he is right now? I mean, he's getting heat.
We say it every week. And I was just talking the other day to somebody else about this, is that he's improved. He has done what he's been asked to do as far as improving in the ring, getting better on the microphone. He's good. He should be able to carry off main event segments. He should be. The reason I say should be and not the word is because of his stupid getup. I'm sorry. It might sound shallow of me. I don't care, quite frankly. It looks stupid, his getup. His ring attire is so annoying. And it's not annoying in a good way. It's X-Pac heat. And what's good about him, though, versus X-Pac, when X-Pac was getting X-Pac heat, is that, which is so disrespectful, by the way. I don't even like using that term, because Pac is a Hall of Famer and one of the guys that set the business. He was very future forward, if you will, as a cruiserweight, if you remember. But with that said, he's good at taking that heat, like the real heat, and turning it into something. And not a lot of guys, including me, even I would argue, when I was still green, might have buckled. And I don't know if the word is buckled, but not play it up enough, because everybody wants to be liked, heels and baby faces. nowadays, unfortunately, especially heels for some reason. So when they get booed legitimately, like, hey, we don't like you, Corbin, we don't want to watch you. We think you suck. Like, you shouldn't even be on TV. That's how bad we think you suck. That he's doing really good with not letting it get under his skin, but playing it up and turning it into something. So I think he's done everything you need to do to transition to a main event talent. He just needs to lose his shirt and then he'd be set.
Yeah. Although without him having any authority, his new getup or the vest, the shirt doesn't really make sense without him having some sort of authority role, right? I mean, they kept that part of the gimmick, but none of the power that
you're right, Glenn. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those things where I love how he played the crowd tonight with the boos, just saying like, hey, this is going to take longer. Let's get through it.
Yeah.
He didn't seem shook. So I thought that, it's story. And I think a lot of people now were saying this was a better episode of Raw. And I think match wise tonight was actually a pretty good show, but I didn't feel like there was any story tonight. I mean, there was those elevator segments, but
it was good. You're right. It wasn't. I don't know why they thought it was a better episode of Raw. It wasn't, but I would argue I liked that Kevin Owens was in the main event.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I love them bringing him out. I love that Sami is clearly a guy they still believe in as far as TV goes, but not someone they see as a champ. With Kevin, I think, look, tomorrow night, he's going to be in the match with Ziggler and Zayn again facing the New Day. So this is a good week for Kevin Owens on WWE TV. Clearly, he's not being punished at all for opting out of the trip to Saudi Arabia. They're giving him a lot of TV time, and I think he's always good. What did you think of this tonight? The 1-on-3 handicap elimination match, Lars Sullivan versus the Lucha House Party.
I'm sick of it always being Lucha House Party. They need to give him other people.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, right? I mean, I know people make the jokes online given his controversies like, oh, why do they keep putting him in segments with the Lucha House Party? But let's remove that element from it. Why is he beating up these guys? It's just not, I mean, it's like when you had Ryback going against Kalisto. It's just, I think that some real competition if you want to make them look dominant, right? They never book the small guys as strong.
Well, no, he's still on the stage, Glenn. I will say that he's still on the stage where he needs to be fed opponent after opponent after opponent. He still needs to go through that stage. And when you're doing that, you need to be able to find fresh talent to do it. If you're not going to pick locals, then giddy up and get one of your people from your roster, one of your stars that's on the undercard, and you got to start feeding them those guys. Tough.
Yeah, something, and they've got an abundance of talent. I mean, right?
Different. There's only so many moves those guys can do with him.
Yeah, and this was okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm not on the Lars train at this point. I feel like
I'm not either. I want to be because he's a big dude. I always cheer on the bigger dudes, but I'm having a hard time.
But like Drew can talk. Braun was too likable. I think that was the problem for Braun being a true monster, is that he smiles and he's got those dimples. Like, you lose it, right? You can't.
I don't know about the dimples. That was kind of weird. But I will say, Glenn, I will say that the dude's got a freaking beard. How do you see the dude's dimples?
No, he's got that little baby smile. He's got
X-ray vision.
No, I'm saying with just that big smile. I'm just saying, like, he's a hard guy to take seriously as a threat.
Where they killed him, Glenn, Braun, was during that mixed match challenge. That's where we saw that. Yeah.
And with Lars is menacing and creepy still. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Lars has that natural likability that Braun has.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's in danger of ever turning face. This was okay tonight. So he took him out one by one. He won after their devolving DQ that happened in Jeddah. We got Carmella backstage with R-Truth hiding and running around, and they got stuck in an elevator with Drake Maverick, EC3, Heath Slater, and Cedric Alexander. No referee. We kept cutting back to this throughout the night. This is like the most TV time and lines EC3 has gotten.
Yeah.
Since he's been called up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But these are kind of scenes that you can steal too. I was hoping he would.
Yeah. Drake was funny. I liked with Truth calling him Hornswoggle.
He's so talented, though, Drake.
Yeah. It's good. I thought the segments were well done. I mean, it was kind of nothing. It's weird that the audio in the elevator, was that for you too for a while? I was like, is it my connection on DirecTV? Is something up? But like, this is $1 billion company. Why does the audio sound like shit on a pre-produced segment?
I don't have an answer. There's no excuse, honestly, so I don't have a good answer.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about here, because on Twitter it was a little controversial. They're talking about Lacey Evans getting ready and talking about Becky Lynch backstage with Seth Rollins. Now, this was, I think, the second week in a row that Michael Cole or someone on commentary has not acknowledged that Seth is Becky's boyfriend. Do you think this takes away from Becky's legitimacy and her own accomplishments to put her in that context of her relationship when she hears the woman that defeated Ronda Rousey, one of the first women to main event WrestleMania, arguably the biggest star in the company right now, and to put her with that title, does that seem a little not demeaning, but
what title? What title?
The title to refer to her as Seth's girlfriend, as Seth Rollins' girlfriend, and Seth is her boyfriend.
No, honestly, no. The only reason why, because it works for both of these two, because to me they're the king and queen of WWE. Do you know what I'm saying? It might sound corny, but like I really think that they're both main event talents on their own. And people are genuinely probably, I'm guessing all the fans are pretty pumped. They're excited that their two favorites date each other. I'm guessing some of the younger fans. You know what I mean? So I don't see any harm in it. I mean, I think it'll hurt. It could harm Seth. I think it definitely do, because he's supposed to be appealing to everybody. He has a very big female base as well, a demographic that likes him, that are fans of him. And, you know, it's like Jim Cornette used to tell me when this is terrible, but I was engaged, and I remember him, you know, saying like, you always want to appear single because you have female fans too you need to think about, and you have a lot of them that just come to these matches because they think you're attractive or whatever have you. They might not be into the wrestling, but they're into watching you do your thing because they're attracted to you. And, you know, it's kind of like an 80s way to look at it if you think about it.
Hey.
But I think there's some truth to that, don't you?
Well, I like the kayfabe part of it. It's like, do you remember as a kid that when it sunk in that Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers weren't actually together as a couple or married? You never thought that, listening to Islands in the Stream, seeing them live doing stuff?
Yeah, I was a Northeasterner, like Billy Joel, Barry Manilow, people like that, like the old school ones. Dolly Parton, obviously Dolly Parton was, but I didn't know that about her and him.
Yeah, I mean, they're not together, not married. Dolly Parton's been married to someone else, a husband that is very private. You never see him. They've been married for like 50 years. But no, I'm saying that, you know, I think that's a very sort of childish thing that people like to see couples. And I like your king and queen analogy, although to that point, I think that actually hurts Seth a little bit because of the way Vince would book that. I mean, God forbid.
Yes, you know. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Nope. Matt, so hot with his opinion there. Somehow he broke his mic. While Matt Morgan is fixing that, let me take a moment and thank the sponsor of this episode, SeatGeek. Speaking of Dolly Parton, I've seen Dolly Parton live in concert. And how did I make that happen? How did I get tickets to that show? SeatGeek was the hookup. Oh my God. All Out tickets go on sale soon. There's still tickets available for WWE Stomping Grounds. There's so many live events, so many tours, so many great things happening right now to go and check out live. And if you want the hookup, SeatGeek is where it is at, folks. Look, ticket websites, they make getting to the event difficult almost on purpose. It's like they're so big they can get away without caring about the customer experience. So if the site's annoying and they don't have the events you want, they don't have the seats you want, that's the status quo. Not good enough. SeatGeek, a ticketing app put together by people that actually care about you, the customer. SeatGeek has millions of live events, a price match guarantee. They have proven there is no better way to get tickets for sports, live music, comedy, wrestling, the theater, and more. SeatGeek has the tickets you're looking for all in one place. SeatGeek stands out from the crowd. They've got over 50,000 five-star reviews. How's that for customer satisfaction? And the way they work is SeatGeek pulls in tickets from hundreds of ticketing websites, all the ticketing websites. They pull in all those tickets, all those deals, and they rate each deal on a scale of 1 to 10 to tell you if the seat is a good value for your money or not, to let you know if it's worth spending, if it's good seats for a fair price. Green dots mean good deals. Red dots are overpriced. And best of all, every purchase is fully guaranteed, so you can shop for tickets with confidence. Now, I have used the SeatGeek app. I have used it for Double or Nothing in Vegas. I will probably be using it when I'm in Chicago for All Out. SeatGeek has been fantastic for me if I want to get tickets, if the wife and I want to go see something last minute and see, hey, are seats still available? It's great if we want to plan ahead. We can look at that to scour it out, find a good deal ahead of time. SeatGeek, really, whether you're making plans far in advance or spur of the moment, the SeatGeek app is a must-have on your phone for live entertainment and planning a night out to go and enjoy an event. We've got a special deal for our listeners. SeatGeek is going to give you $10 off your first SeatGeek purchase. All you need to do is use our promo code. Just download the SeatGeek app, use the promo code INC for $10 off your first purchase. That's promo code INC for $10 off your first purchase. SeatGeek, check them out. You're going to love it. We get great tweets and thanks from the Wrestling Inc. fans. Thank you all for using and supporting our sponsors, especially SeatGeek. Let us know what shows you're going to see. Let us know what you're going to check out. And again, use that promo code INC to save $10 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Matt Morgan, any luck? I am not hearing Matt. Matt, maybe try rebooting. Literally turning it off and back on again. Matt's going to do that. And while he's doing that, I will run through some more stuff that happened on Monday Night Raw. So, as I said, backstage, we got that set up between Becky and Lacey acknowledging their match at Stomping Grounds. And we got a little interview face-off between them with Lacey Evans sipping her tea, Becky Lynch taunting her during the time, them trading barbs between one another in advance of this match and trying to keep the heat going between the two. We got that build up throughout the night. And Matt, do you want to try calling me? Actually, I'll just put you on speakerphone if you can't figure it out. Just call me if you can't figure it out, Matt. I'll turn the Lyris is helping him reboot there. And one thing people have talked about tonight on Twitter, on social media, is that with Stomping Grounds, Vince McMahon or someone in WWE Creative just discovered the phrase kick ass and take names. Because how many times do we hear that tonight from Michael Cole, from Corey Graves, even Roman Reigns in a promo there tonight, talking about Stomping Grounds going to kick ass and take names. What was that? 80s, 90s? The reference is still around. It's still relevant. But yes, tonight they rammed that into the grounds in advance of Stomping Grounds. Raw was from San Jose tonight, and I'm just a little bit north of there, which is why I can see I'm not sweating because Matt Morgan isn't on the air. I'm sweating because it is over 100 degrees here in Northern California, and none of us have air conditioning, so we don't know what to do when it gets this hot. Matt, you're back.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, buddy.
All right, let's go.
Yes, kick ass and take names. Did you enjoy hearing that phrase a dozen times tonight?
That's such an old saying.
Yeah, but for Stomping Grounds, it was weird how Roman in his promo at Stomping Grounds, I'm going to kick ass and take names. Michael Cole, kick ass and take names.
No, not impressed.
Yeah, no. Did you ever hear Vince say that when you were there? Is that a Vinceism?
No, that's like every person ism. I mean, I've heard that on anything I've competed in, for that matter, whether it was basketball, baseball, football, you name it. I've always, coaches, everybody says that. It's such a cliche.
Yeah, I mean, but like an outdated one at this point.
Oh, super outdated and very weak. Yes.
Yes. Speaking of antiquated ideas and concepts, what did you think of Lacey Evans tonight, going toe-to-toe on the mic with Becky Lynch?
Oh, man, she's getting good. Boy, did she prove me wrong. Right?
Yeah, I like what she's doing. I thought she was good in the ring. I mean, the shtick, I think, is wearing a little thin for me.
It is. But think about what she's being asked to do. She's being asked to be, again, I'm going to go back to it again. Like you said, I think, stuck in a time bunker underground from 1955, and she's out here in the year 2019.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's so weird.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but she's somehow pulling it off, though, to a degree, especially when the bell rings. She can get better, and she's going to get better. But her poise is just, I'm telling you can't teach that. And you can't. It takes time to learn some of the things she's learned already. The other stuff, that's going to come.
Yeah. No, she looks super confident tonight. Now, compare that. What did you think of Nikki Cross with Alexa Bliss backstage? Nikki almost looking sort of confused by, hey, Alexa, are we good guys, bad guys? What's going on here?
I want to pass on this so much. I don't want to have to watch it. If I could fast forward this segment, I would have.
Yeah, and that's
I don't like anything with. I'm sorry. I don't have any draw to Nikki Cross. I don't see why they're putting stock into her.
I mean, she was forgotten about after her call up initially, right? She got called up last fall, and then we didn't see her for months.
So why am I caring about her now?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's got potential, but you're right. I know you talked about in recent weeks that when she was doing Sanity, when she was like biting the ring ropes and stuff like that was at least memorable. At least it was different. Now she's just bland.
I would rather watch Alicia Fox.
I love Alicia Fox.
I know, that's why I said it.
What's wrong with Alicia Fox, dude? Magic every time she's on screen. Okay.
She would do more with that, by the way. She would do way more with that.
I think Alicia Fox, I mean, we've talked about this before. I think she is legitimately one of those people in WWE that could have a career as an actress.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
You know.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Like she's good. And her suplex like is amazing. But aside from that, I think that, yeah, like she's got legitimate chops. So we got Miz TV tonight. We got Samoa Joe coming out and kind of making it a little personal with the Miz and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe taking some of his family digs at the Miz, them getting in each other's faces. What's that?
Finish. I'm sorry.
Oh, so, and this went, of course, into a 6-man tag. Your favorite production trick, where the music interrupted. Bobby Lashley comes out, Braun Strowman comes out, Ricochet comes out, Cesaro comes out. Hey, let's have a 6-man tag match.
Right. Real quick before we begin,
yeah,
Samoa Joe doing all the personal attacks on whoever his opponent is. That's definitely Vince. That's definitely Vince finding something about Samoa Joe that he thinks he brought to the formula. I'll guarantee it. And he thinks it works, and it does work. I think Joe's a jerk. He's being as big of a jerk as he possibly could, and he's very believable.
Yeah,
everything Joe does to me is always been believable. His work, and when you get Angry Joe, I used to argue in TNA, Angry Joe. A lot of the writers would make on the internet would be like, "Oh, we got Screaming Joe again." It's like, but he's also very intense and believable when he was Screaming Joe, in my opinion.
Well, to your point about the family stuff, I remember one of the interviews that Enzo Amore gave post WWE says the only line that Vince ever insisted upon him saying was, remember when Maurice announced her pregnancy and the Miz did that segment with Enzo, and Enzo did the heel turn saying, and the question I should be asking isn't how you doing, but who's your daddy? So I think that you're right. Vince does very much like that sort of get involved in the I mean, he wants to do that angle about Stephanie and him having a kid. Famously,
it's very personal. I mean, it's very easy for everyone to understand. It's an easy thing to get heat on.
Yeah. And Joe's done it well. I mean, the stuff with AJ and Wendy, like that was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Man, I could go for some of that right now compared to what we've seen recently on TV. So let's talk about the 6-man tag. There's people speculating that Cesaro might have gotten injured from this. Ricochet perhaps had a tough landing on one of his moves. But my thought watching Braun Strowman, Ricochet, and The Miz versus Bobby Lashley, Cesaro, and Samoa Joe is it's like, man, if this is the mid card, like these guys are all super talented. They're just completely lacking a storyline right now.
Yeah. No, I think you're right on.
I mean, this match was good. I thought this was solid.
It was, but again, Cesaro for me is just, I don't know. I can't believe I'm saying that because I was one of his biggest fans. Like when he was starting to work with Cena and he was having these great matches, bell to bell.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened. I think it was right after the Jack Swagger tag team combo of them that for me he started to die a slow death.
Yeah, Cesaro's had some interesting teamings that didn't last. I don't think any of them ever. I thought with the Bar it made sense.
He didn't even need though. That's the whole thing. He did not need to be put into a tag team to begin with. He did not need to do that thing with Jack Swagger or anybody. Nothing against Swagger, just anybody. He was fine as a single star. They did not do a good job of getting a young talent to that damn finish line that wins on major talents to get them there.
I think he's charismatic also. I think it's the accent curse, though, that Kevin Dunn or somebody doesn't like his accent.
Yeah. Sheamus was world champion.
That's true. Anything is possible. I thought Braun looked great during this match. I thought Bobby was talking for himself. Bobby on the mic. Leo Rush, MIA now for a while.
It's going to help Bobby. Bobby never needed it. Not that he's Jerry Lawler or anything, but he doesn't need to be. He needs just to be direct, and we've seen his work at TNA. I mean, good Lord, he can go on the mic when he's given a chance, Yeah.
No, I think it's just what creative is giving him and how comfortable he is in that creative environment.
They've got him in a very stereotypical role, like so in this tiny little box that they keep putting him in, that he could play so much bigger than this little box they keep putting him in.
Yeah.
This stoic monster, jacked up dude and flexing. That ain't Bobby. Bobby's a thoroughbred athlete. He brags about his athleticism, his athletic prowess, what a badass he is, how he can tie you up in a pretzel, how he would kill Brock Lesnar, things like that. Not flexing and doing the bodybuilding thing. He's anti-bodybuilder. He's just super genetically gifted and looks like one, but he does not work out like a bodybuilder.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
So the outcome of that match, Ricochet, The Miz, and Braun Strowman won. Where do you think they go from here on the U.S. title? Clearly,
I got no idea. You?
I want Ricochet. I think Ricochet could use it. I mean, with Braun is, he won the Greatest Royal Rumble. He's won the Andre. He's been a tag team champion.
No, don't waste a breath. No, he's way past this.
I agree.
Lashley is way past this. I would argue Joe should be way past this. But Joe needs to be working for the title again. You want fresh talents. What the hell? Get him up there.
Yeah.
In the main event picture. Him versus Seth Rollins would be cool.
No, I agree. I'd be a fan of that. So we got Becky Lynch and Bayley versus Lacey Evans and Alexa Bliss. And again, Bayley in her hometown lost. Mm-hmm. Lacey Evans covering her for the pin and the win. Mm-hmm. What did you think of this match?
It was a great match. That was a really good match, I thought. I just did not like, Bayley losing. What the hell? She's the champ.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's how it goes. No, I thought this was good. And I like that we got more women's matches tonight with the Iconics. Also, we'll talk about that in a minute. But no, I think I'm just worried that with Bayley, this is going to be short-lived and they're going to put the belt on Alexa again.
I think you're right. I hope we're wrong, though.
I mean, there's just nothing there, right? I mean, with Bayley, Bayley's not even Bayley anymore. I mean, I was watching Double or Nothing again over the weekend, and it's like,
other girl.
Kylie Rae's doing a better version of Bayley at this point.
Okay, no way. All right. I found Kylie Rae annoying.
But you're supposed to, though.
But I think I was more annoyed because I didn't know she was doing that in the Indies. If somebody told me before Bayley, because I didn't know that. I just thought she just outright ripped off Bayley completely.
But Bayley doesn't even have that anymore. Bayley isn't even happy. I mean, she's not.
She was, though, and that's who she was. And she was there. She did that for quite a while, and she was super over with it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's enough to just have sort of middle of the road Bayley who's pleasant.
No, I agree with you. Oh, I definitely agree.
It's like pick a lane. Either she should be angry and deranged and demented, or she should be super perky and happy to be there.
And here's the thing I will point out about Bayley. Bayley's very young, right?
Well, is she? I thought she was older, had a couple of years on Sasha.
Is she not under 30?
She might be. Let's see. She's 29 years of age. She's about to turn 30.
Okay, here's what I was going to say. And I say this frequently with men, including myself. It took me so long to figure out for the light bulb in my head to go off as far as who I was so I could dial that up, right? But I needed to figure out who I was as Matt Morgan, the man, first. Matt Morgan, who owns his own home, has to pay bills, travel on the road. You mature into a man, right? And figure out who that guy is first. And it takes us a while. And then once you figure that out, and only then can you figure out who you are as a character on TV dialed up. So with Bayley, I still feel she's feeling herself out. She's still figuring out who she is as a young woman. And I thought we had it. I'm sure that is who she is this bright, bubbly personality that genuinely loves wrestling. And you could feel that exuberance that she brings to the sport of wrestling because she loves it so much. Just coming down the aisle, you get that off of her, and you want to hug her in the whole nine, and she wants to hug you back. It's a pretty basic thing to get, and it seems natural. But now, because she is so young, in my opinion, or they're telling her basically, don't be yourself. Do this other gray area crap, and she's like, well, I know I'm not like this, so how do I do this? And so it comes across as acting at times, and that's where wrestlers fail.
Well, to your point, she is not turned up to 11 anymore.
Right.
It
feels like they're having her playing somebody that she's not.
Yeah, she feels like maybe a 5, a 7 on a good day. But no, I'm glad that she's champion. I think, especially with Sasha gone, it's good they're giving her something. But again, there's no story here. Like, what is even going on between her and Alexa? You know, aside from the fact Alexa took the championship off of her before during her last title run, but there's no, I don't know. And this stuff with Alexa and Nikki,
there's no meat on the bones.
And Alexa with the coffee and that. I mean, overall, my number one complaint with Monday Night Raw is lack of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
The wrestling is good, but that's not good enough anymore. I think we need characters and stories that we get invested in, or else we should just be watching real sports.
Yes.
So Sami kissed up to Shane McMahon backstage, got himself the outside ref role for the main event. And then we had Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman coming to the ring. No Brock Lesnar. What did you think of Heyman's promo tonight? Basically kind of teasing maybe Brock's not going to be around, or they're not going to announce when Brock's going to be there. I mean, it's different, right?
Definitely different. Paul Heyman would do at this point that is not coming out with Brock and out there screaming and yelling, and now they're defending, that whole crap is going to be different.
Yeah.
So this is a welcome different. It's about time.
You think Brock is going to be the special guest referee at Stomping Grounds for Corbin versus Rollins?
Definitely.
Yeah. I think that's good use of him.
Mm-hmm.
The Iconics face. Yeah, the Iconics faced local enhancement talent Lisa Lace and Aaliyah Mia.
This was good. I was good with this, actually. I know there's 2 women's tags. I don't know why someone would poo-poo upon that when guys do it all the damn time.
Yeah.
Mans and tags and things like that. But this was great use of them because they needed this. They need to do more with this.
Yeah, they've been getting their ass handed to them in singles competition. So this is important. We got the Shane McMahon Best in the World celebration with Drew McIntyre. I mean, is this like...
No, not working. No, it's not.
Drew got played out with bagpipes. I mean, not actually played out with bagpipes, but they had people with bagpipes there pretending to play over his music. That was good. They've done that before.
They look cool.
Nice. Yeah, and I like Drew in kind of this outfit tonight, looking street clothes as opposed to his wrestling gear.
He's a good-looking dude. He screams superstar, man. He screams main event star in every sense of the word.
Yeah, I think this was a good look for him. He can clearly talk, but this whole thing tonight, Shane McMahon's getting that push.
Shane McMahon's getting that push.
You know what I saw that I can't unsee now? I had this thought the other day is I was like, who does Shane McMahon remind me of with the dance moves and his looks? And it finally occurred to me, Carmine Ragusa, the big Ragu from Laverne and Shirley. And now I can't unsee it when I see Shane McMahon.
Good call. None of you fans know what that is. You need to look it up, though. That's tremendous. I forgot. I haven't thought about that character. Oh, my God, at least 20 years.
Yeah, but with the dance moves and the looks, he looks more like that actor, Eddie Mecca, more like his kid than Vince McMahon's.
Carmen Ragu.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Triple threat for the Raw Tag Team titles tonight. The Revival versus the Usos versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. And the big headline is that the Revivals are now 2-time Raw Tag Team champs. What did you think of this match?
Good match. Didn't you think it was good?
I liked it.
Pissed off that they didn't give my boy Zach an honest to God legitimate chance here as a tag team champion. You know what I mean? They didn't give any chance to do anything with those titles, and that's frustrating. No,
I mean, they were hardly on TV as champions. It's actually one of the more, and WWE does a lot of confusing, like head scratching shit. Like this is one of the bigger ones, putting the titles on Ryder and Hawkins at WrestleMania, and then just having them completely off TV for a long time.
Then that just tells me that was for a feel-good moment at WrestleMania and nothing more.
Yeah. But with the Revival, hey, this is pretty good, right? I know people thought they were getting buried with that Usi Hot crap and the Usos taking those digs at them, but they got to put on this match tonight that was really good. They got the belts again. And
how do you know they're not the transitional champions just to drop them to the Usos?
But why do you need transitional champions to do that? I mean, the Usos
not need them. I'm saying, how do you know WWE's not looking at it that way? Because look, they've shown us in every way, shape, or form they do not do right by the Revival. They just don't. And anytime we think they will or they do, bleep hits the fan and something they're doing. I see Uso hot segments.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they put the belt on them to drop to Uso somehow or make it more intriguing for that tag match. They didn't need the titles to begin with, no offense. Those two teams are so damn good. They don't need title.
I think this should be the feud between now and SummerSlam. The Revival versus the Usos, no comedy shit. Just go out and put on barn-burning matches.
Yeah, bro. Yep.
Yeah. Firefly Fun House tonight. This was kind of different. Bray Wyatt taking a big mallet to Ramblin' Rabbit.
This sounds funny. Yeah, I mean, what do you say? How do you critique this? This is just more and more entertainment. I'm entertained by it, you know?
Why do they keep showing the audience during these segments?
I do not know, but I would like to point out, I think we were one of the first ones to call that out. I remember? We're like, what in the hell? Why would they show fans are confused? Are you trying to? We already know we're confused. We don't need to be reminded. See, when they show the fans, just so you know, it's an old parlor trick to make fans at home react a certain way. So they they pan into the fans, whether they're cheering, booing, or sitting on their hands, apparently in this case, to make you at home drive that point home of emotional investment that you should be doing this too. You should be cheering like this. You should be making this face when Undertaker loses. You should be doing all these crazy different things that they pan in the audience to sell to you at home to do in return. And it's like, no, this is the one segment. You don't need to do that. We're all confused. Okay. Stop wasting airtime on showing puzzled fans because it makes them look uninterested.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why they take this route with this of always showing the audience during these segments. It makes it it just ruins the rhythm of this really weird thing. And stop having Michael Cole comment on it or Graves comment on it. Just don't say anything.
Don't say anything. Yep.
Yeah.
More power in nothing than something with this segment verbally.
Yeah. This was good though. I mean, this was still good tonight. Ramblin' Rabbit threatening to expose some truths about the Firefly Fun House. I'm so invested in this, and I'm so worried I'm going to be disappointed when Bray starts actually wrestling in the ring again.
Dude, Ramblin' Rabbit was a stooge. He had it coming.
I don't think anything's going to top last week with Huskus the pig and pull up your pants and do the muscle man dance. And I didn't notice this till I watched it like the 5th time, but did you know those fake Zubas that he was wearing had W's all over him that Bray was wearing?
No.
Yeah, just things I've been going back through these things and I love that. I love that there's rewatchability. When's the last time you rewatched anything on Raw or SmackDown?
That's true.
You know? So yeah, I'm praying for a fantastic payoff to all of this. The main event tonight, we got Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. And Sami Zayn is the outside referee. John Cone inside the ring refereeing. Sami, I thought, really stole the show here with this. I mean, the match was okay, but this was like a Sami showcase, right? To do his comedy.
Yes, I just thought he did not look like a superstar. Physically, I thought he looked like a legitimate referee.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the problem with it, right? It's like once Kane became corporate Kane, he's not Demon Kane or someone you take seriously anymore.
Yeah, and what's crazy is he did great with what he had to do tonight. Don't get me wrong, but again, to a mainstream fan clicking through the channels, you're not looking at that dude in the referee outfit going, yeah, he's a star. I'll pay to see him.
You know what, though? Better him doing the comedy than having Kevin Owens hiding in porta potties again.
All day, and don't get me, listen, I love Sami. I just don't. I'm very particular about protecting talents to always show themselves looking like stars. And I'm telling you, the get up, the attire is so important. It's such an important part of the whole overall package of that character, man. Imagine Stone Cold. What would he have to wear to be like kind of sort of the same? Like freaking Ronald McDonald outfit or Grimace outfit or something insane like that, I guess. Just something so asinine that it takes away from them looking like a star. And I thought it took a lot away from him looking like a star. That's my 2 cents. But yes, it furthered the story along, which is the point of it. So maybe I'm wrong.
So Sami got really involved in this match, ultimately causing a DQ. And then pretty much for the last segment, we just got Rollins kicking the crap out of Sami.
Yeah.
As we went off the air. So we'll see what happens in the build up to Stomping Grounds on this. What do you think they should do with KO? Because it looks like we're getting Ziggler and Kofi in a steel cage at Stomping Grounds. We're getting Corbin and Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship at Stomping Grounds. What do you do with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at this point?
I don't know. I honestly don't. Run in, potentially a run in. I don't know if you're going to waste a rematch with some of these. I wouldn't want to get any on Owens. I'd like to save him for another pay-per-view. He doesn't have to be on the pay-per-view. There's nothing wrong with sitting out a pay-per-view if you don't have a match, especially if you're being moved forward to be the next in line versus, let's say, Seth. I don't know.
Yeah, and Corbin did also do a run-in after this match, came down there. But yeah, Sami took the majority of Rollins' beatdown with chair shots, stomp, etc., etc. They're trying, like I said, this is better than it has been, but I still feel that the story element is just really lacking. And Stomping Grounds is shaping up probably to be the least essential WWE pay-per-view in recent memory.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, it just is. I wasn't intrigued with tonight's show. I'm just being honest.
There was some stuff I liked. I mean, I like the wrestling. I like Bray. I thought Lacey and Becky were good. I thought the tag booking was good. Sami in the comedy role is good, but you're right. Long term, that doesn't do him any favors with how much he blended tonight. So I'm optimistic about SmackDown tomorrow. We'll see what happens there. Let's talk about, God, I hate because people will say, oh, this is just fanboying, but AEW made some news tonight while Raw was on the air. Did you hear it yet, Matt?
No.
Okay, so Kenny Omega is at E3, the big video game conference going on in Southern California. He was on a live Twitch stream, and Kenny Omega announced that Fyter Fest, which is coming up at the end of this month, is going to be streamed for free on BR Live.
Oh, I'll take that. That's great.
Yeah, right? And we predicted that on this pay-per-view because Double or Nothing did over 100,000 buys across all platforms, that this would be a smart move for AEW to give something to the fans and keep up interest.
I mean, I don't know if I'd have the wherewithal to do that same move versus just, it's not to sound greedy, but like they're a new company just starting out. Like I have no problem paying $49.90, whatever hell it was. I honestly, not that I'm rich, I'm not, but you know what I mean? It was very exciting. There was a lot of buzz in the air. You were the only person not watching it if you didn't order it. Honestly, I had no problem paying for it. But what that's really good on them, though. It makes it even more greater that they're willing to do that, like you said. Because if you're saying that, I'm assuming you have a pretty good pulse on the fans. So I'm assuming a lot of fans complain about the price, I'm guessing. And just the fact they give a tip of the hat to the fans and truly being what they say they are. This is a company by us, for us. And that includes the fans, too.
Yeah. Hey, I think it makes a lot of sense. It's really remarkable, though, when you think about this is going to have Jon Moxley's in-ring AEW debut against Joey Janela, and they're giving that away.
Are going to critique to death. And how in the hell do you give away the biggest star you guys have on your roster, the hottest thing in wrestling right now? How do you just give that away for free? One can make the argument, and I'm a huge Joey Janela fan. I came completely out on Twitter about it. Remember, I did, along with Orange Cassidy. Huge Janela fan. I think he's hilarious. But with that said, is that really the first match that's, that don't you think we should have had Omega versus Dean Ambrose, Moxley first?
Oh, I think you save that. People will pay for that. I think you do that at All Out in Chicago.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you give that match away. Anything with Matt Moxley in it, but I don't know. Good, even more better on them then. You know what I mean? Versus, they seem to make all the right moves with what they've been doing as far as business decisions go. I don't have my own wrestling company, so obviously they're doing something right. So
there's going to be a fatal four-way: Hangman Page versus Jungle Boy versus Jimmy Havoc versus MJF.
Why is Jimmy Havoc in anything? No offense to him, but like I don't get the draw to him.
He is sort of a polarizing figure, I've found. I really like his look. I mean, he looks like he should be.
He looks like he's got two strings on the end of his shoulders.
But he looks like a skinny goth kid who does these crazy death matches.
Killed in a real fight.
I see your point. I think his look though with the mask, I like it. I think it's cool, but granted, I'm a fan of bands like Depeche Mode, New Order, Joy Division. I mean, it's sort of a throwback. I think his goth new wave. I'm serious. I'm telling you, but there's an audience out there.
To say those bands, but continue. Sorry.
No, but I'm telling you, there are fans out there for that. I'm telling you that when you're watching it, and if you're someone that likes that style of music, I mean, think about it.
No, yes, I get the diversity. I get it, but is this for number one contenders?
I don't think it's not for number one contendership. I don't think there's any stakes with it. I think it's a way to further 4 guys that are clearly going to be on top of the company. Or
why isn't MJF in it?
Well, no, MJF is in it. So it's MJF, Jimmy Havoc, Jungle Boy, and Adam Page.
I'd much rather see MJF versus Adam Page.
Oh, you save that though, dude. I mean, because that's going to be.
Well, then you could say that about this whole pay-per-view they're giving away for free.
That's true. But it's a showcase. So if it's a showcase, this to me is showcasing 4 guys that are going to be players in AEW. And it's all about All Out. And it's all about weekly TV. And if they're smart, weekly TV starts the Tuesday after All Out at the end of August.
God, I hope so. I'm so looking forward to this.
Yeah. I mean, but no, I think, Jungle Boy, people really love him. He's got a great personal story, being Luke Perry's son, but it was wrestling his character. People really have a fondness for him. MJF. Incredible heel right now, the stuff he's been doing on social media.
He is on fire.
Yeah. And Paige, I think Paige will not be the first champ, but I think Paige will be the guy to take the belt off Jericho when in a rematch.
I think Paige will be the first champ.
I think so?
Even though I know why you're saying the opposite, because it's the first champion, it's important that it should be the biggest star possible. But I don't know. I think it shoots him where he needs to be as far as shooting him right up. Paige is ready. He is ready. God, he's good.
It's tough to carry TV, though, going in. And I'm telling you, the reason why I think of this. So have you been talking with many people about AEW just in conversations?
Yeah.
I mean, so when I talk with folks about this who are lapsed fans, they perk up when I mention Jericho. When I say, well, Chris Jericho, and he's in the title picture with this.
Okay. How about this? We were on a tour, and this is a shoot story, of Highlands Elementary here, a school that my son is not going to be going to. So that's why I can say it. And we took a tour of it because we were really impressed with it, though. And the principal, of all people, when I went to go use the bathroom, got in a conversation with my wife, asking her about what I thought about AEW. And my wife was like, "You watched that?" And kind of shocked that this older principal, would be into such, young cutting edge wrestling, right?
Yeah.
I knew, but the people he knew was obviously Moxley. He knew Young Bucks. And he knew some of the younger talents. I was really shocked by this because this was not to judge a book by a cover, but guys, I am telling you, I was judging the book by the cover. He did not look like one of us wrestling fans. And I was so encouraged by that, though, that this older guy watched AEW and knew who's who, and so yeah.
No, it counts. I mean, I think for TNT, they're just going to have to put up numbers. I think they're not going to be. I mean, look, I would love it. It'd be the best thing for the wrestling business if they beat WWE in their first week out. That's not happening.
No,
there's no way.
It's not. And let's be clear, it's not TNT either.
Yeah,
it's TNT drama, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it's TNT. I mean, it is TNT.
Okay, because the logos I saw in the background and some of the still shots said TNT drama. Was that just like their?
I think that's just. Isn't that still their slogan? TNT knows drama, which is the weirdest slogan for a TV channel.
It's legitimate or normal TNT.
It's legitimate normal TNT. So I think $1 million is probably anything above $1 million would be considered a runaway success.
Yeah. Hello. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, 6-figure pay-per-view buys. That's the biggest pay-per-view buy since non-WWE pay-per-view buy since WCW.
TNA never did anything like that, I'm guessing, right?
I think half that.
That's the biggest one TNA's ever done, was half of that?
I think so. Somebody, I'm sure Meltzer has all the numbers if you look at his coverage of it. I think one, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure someone in the chat knows. I think it was around 60,000 was the biggest that TNA ever did.
Wow. That's even more impressive now to me.
It's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely insane that it's doing this well. And looking forward to it. I think it'll be good. Let's see what else. I listened today. Let me give a plug for this. I know Raj has plugged it. I was just missing the sound of his voice, Matt, now that he's been gone for a week. I was listening to his interview with Ryback on Ryback's podcast. Very interesting, talking about the John Oliver piece and WWE pay structure, talking about live event pay structure, even comparing pay-per-view payouts to network payouts. It's a really good interview. Highly recommend that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's take this home here, Matt. We breezed through this pretty easily. Anything you want to plug before we sign off here?
I just did an interview that just was popped up with Chris Van Vliet.
Nice.
Pretty fan of his work. Hoping someone like an AEW wraps him up while they can, because he is as talented as they come. But it was fun. Very, very fun, easy interview. You learned some new things about me that you probably didn't know. Those of you that watch this, I'm guessing you guys already know everything, because I tell everything to you guys on this as it is. But tell your friends, look it up on Chris Van Vliet's like social media channels. I should know what they are, but I don't, because I'm terrible. Or just Google search it on YouTube and go from there.
We've been working together almost 3 years now, and every time I listen to an interview that you do with somebody else, I learn something new about you.
No way. I throw everything out here. It somehow comes out.
The Why It Ended interview and talking about the wrestling in an empty warehouse and not being sure what that guy did with those videos.
That's Robbie. I need to credit Robbie for that. I would have forgotten all about that if Robbie didn't remember that one.
No, that was great. And Chris Van Vliet, did you watch his interview with MJF that they did?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That was fantastic.
It was good.
But no, I'll have to check out your conversation with him. I'm Glenn Rubenstein. You can find me on Twitter at Glenn Rubenstein. Greatly appreciate a follow there. And until next time, folks, we will see you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.
Miss you, Raj.